Hey guys, good evening everyone, and welcome to the second part of our stock market insights. Okay, let me go ahead and check out the charts. Okay, so right now we are going to talk about AEV ever. Well, let's check that out. This was a request from one of our viewers who commented in our video early today. MBC, PBC, Pure Gold, GTCAP, MPI, ICT, MWC, and ABS. Okay, we can go ahead and get started. AEV. So let me just I'll go ahead and load our chart over here. Okay, there you have it. So this is AEV. Okay, for AEV, what do we have here? Currently, we are sitting at a short-term resistance. It's a slight overshoot the MA20 line to the upside. However, I feel that this kind of candlestick is in fact a bearish candlestick. When that comes out at a resistance level, that would mean there's a possibility that the next move is on a decline. So the reason why we're saying that that is a resistance is because I see this, okay? For 2 days straight, that area, each time it gets hit, there's a rejection that's happening. At the same time, this price level also was your resistance level. This became a support, and this one too. So always remember that when a price of a support area, okay, when a support area gets broken, that becomes a resistance. Okay, so what happened here? This used to be a support, right? And then eventually it got broken. This now becomes your resistance. So it dropped, it revisited that, and it dropped again. And so the big challenge now is, will it break your resistance at that level? We are sitting at a resistance. So that could mean this kind of candlestick could mean a sign of weakness, like what happened here. Same look over here. But there are also some occasions when a resistance gets broken, okay? For instance, um, let me just show you something. A previous resistance that became a support. Let me just show you that. Oops. When can a previous resistance become a support? Okay, so what do we have here? Look at this one. Here, let me plot this price area. Okay, so this price area over here, I'll make it bigger. So always know that it's an area, okay? So this used to be a resistance. Each time a price hits that level, there's a rejection that happened. So after that, it did not sustain, there's a breakdown in price, okay? So that's a resistance. Then eventually we did some sideways over here and we broke that resistance. We broke this long candlestick here, half of the body of that broke that resistance. So eventually we started moving to the upside. And what happened next there was your previous resistance now becomes your support. It retested it. So there's a slight increase in price, it retests. Normally that's how it is. When it breaks a resistance, it moves a little higher and it goes back, creating this time a support. So now this is your support. Your previous resistance acting now as a support. And after that, we move some more to the upside. Okay, see, that's the theory that we follow. Okay, so we continue to move upward. Okay, there you have it. So that is what I was saying here. So here you have your resistance, support over here. If we break that, so your previous support becomes your resistance here. If we break that resistance, eventually that will now again become your support. So we will potentially move a little higher, retest it, and create a support in that level and stabilize probably before it goes up again. That is if we continue moving to the upside by tomorrow. Okay, so two things can happen there. At least you know, at the beginning of the market, try to observe what the overall sentiment of the market is. Is it going to move a little downwards? If it will, then chances are, of course, it will go back to your previous support. Okay, at least you know those price levels. Next would be ever. Okay, look at that, 9 trades. So I'd say if you only you have a choice and you have not gotten in the stock yet, I'd say avoid this stock. Because with only 9 trades there, that could mean 3 people trading back and forth, right? And even if the price that you're wanting to either buy or sell is already at that level, but because there's only 3 of you buying and selling this stock, there's a big chance that it will not be captured. It will stay there for a long time. So before you even engage in any stock, always take note of the number of trades here. Try to engage in stocks that have a lot of trades. So it's faster to execute whatever your order is, buy or sell. So what we have here, on a daily chart, yes, it looks promising, but one trade of possibly a person selling there, it could bring back the price again down. So that's my only take on this stock. MBC. For MBC, you'll have 83 trades, but if you are engaged in this stock, I'd say yes, there's volume. There's volume. People are probably accumulating, but same story with the previous stock. We only had 83 trades, so be extra careful. And I feel that maybe in the coming days we will see some more bullish actions. However, there's a tendency that it could be a very slow movement in terms of execution of your order, because not a lot of people are trading in this stock. Not unless, okay, you have, you know, they call it jockey players in the stock market. So they push the price higher, enticing the newbies, because the newbies will see that, oh, this price is really going up, and then only to discover that you are buying now at a high level. By the time you are in there, those people who are sometimes friends, they exit the trade and you're left behind. So that's the sad story there. So if you're still interested in getting in the stock, of course, 13.62 is the area that we see as our support level. The reason being is that's your MA20 line. This used to be your resistance right here. Okay. Next is PBC. Okay, you see that? 18 trades. So this could just be because of one person buying it and he's also the person selling it. That could also happen, right? That's why it pushes the price higher drastically, or pushes the price downwards drastically. So this one, it's triggering the upper band. It's possible that it could move a little higher, but still, uh, I'm just scared of engaging in this stock when you only have 18 trades there. If you want to identify which area is the support, this is the area that I see. That is 18.06. If you want to see a clearer picture of the overall direction of a stock, try to expand your time frame. Yes. So this could be it's a support level here. So there's a big chance that it will continue to move to the upside. Overall, on a monthly chart, it's like this is a reset. It's a reset of the price on a decline for the past how many years, from 2013, almost what, 8 years, 9 years. There you have it. Pure gold. Pure gold, be extra careful. Well, I'm on a monthly chart, so I think this stock is resting. There you go. Be careful. We have been saying that we have already reached a resistance for this stock, and I will not be surprised because this has been a dramatic increase in the price. Therefore, the moment it triggers the lower Bollinger Band, chances are it will go down. And where could it possibly drop? Of course, your previous resistance will be your support. There you have it. See this? Let me see. Let's plot it here first, because this area is higher than this area. So this, you see this? This is your resistance before. So when it drops, it will challenge that first. 41.22 being a support level. Okay, so now just continue to comment on my videos, because that is where I will get my next recording. I will try to record multiple videos in a day so that I will be able to accommodate everyone. I know most of the time I would go live, but it's already too late. And my objective is for you to be able to, of course, take advantage of this free information and analyze your own strategy before the next trading day. So I try my best to do it at a much earlier time. So today I was able to record the first part of my stock market analysis. I'll try to link it below as well, so you will be able to watch it. The next one is GTCAP. GTCAP, I'm sorry to disclose the not so good news here. Looks like we have broken the support level. We broke that support. First support area is 399. The next support is this level. So we broke that. So I feel that we will have some more declines here. Okay, so be extra careful. Although your RSI is already giving you advanced signals, this means when you see this, while the price is moving downwards and your RSI is heading towards north, then chances are that's an advanced signal that we are about to approach a possible reversal or a change in direction. In this case, a possible bounce. But it is also it also happens that you break the price, so there's a decline here. It continues to decline, and you still have the same look in your RSI. So my recommendation is, while it's true that it might not be that far before the bottom is reached, it's still best to wait for that confirmation of a bounce. What do you mean by that? For instance, this one. Here, right, this used to be our previous support. You know that it is already consolidating, right? And your RSI is already heading upward. So when your price goes flatline and your RSI is building up, then that means there's a bounce that's happening soon. If your price is going downwards and your RSI is heading up, that also means we're about to face a bounce. So in this case, this price level is just heading, flatline, sideways. Then the confirmation that I am referring to is this green engulfing candlestick. That is your confirmation, right? That the best approach here is you wait for the market the closing time before the market closes. That's when you execute the trade. Because sometimes if you try to do it at the early or the first leg of the market day, sometimes all of a sudden towards the second half, it changes the direction. The sentiment of the people is actually a bearish sentiment, so you don't have control over that. So just to be sure, if you're just merely waiting for a confirmation, wait till the probably last hour or two before the market closes. Then that's the time you enter. That way you already have 70% or 80% of the overall sentiment of the market. See what happens next. Continuous climb. In this case, that's what we are waiting for. It goes down, price goes down, but we are waiting for that confirmation, a green engulfing candlestick to come out to validate and confirm a possible bounce. MPI. As for MPI, we see MA20 line as our support here. Okay, take note, I am using a Bollinger Band. So you see the three lines over here, that is a Bollinger Band. The one at the center is technically your MA20 line. I did not set that manually, I just did this over here, and I type Bollinger Band, and then that's it. Some people would create their own settings. They they tinker with that, but I don't. I just use the default settings. Same is true with my RSI. I just click this and I go RSI. There you go. Your call, whatever works for you. What is important here is that all the other indicators, they're all good. Find your niche, find the indicator that works for you and that you feel, is easy to understand and execute. Because what we want to avoid is analysis or paralysis by analysis paralysis, right? Because there are so many indicators in front of you, it takes a long time before you can reach a decision. So try to simplify your trades, choose an indicator that works for you, and use that every single time. Like what we are doing now. We are studying every single night because the objective is we want to gain proficiency in our trading skill. And the only way we can achieve that is we do it every single night or we do it every single day, right? We study and we apply. Strike a balance, not that you only study and you don't execute it. In the same manner, if you execute it, you have to strike a balance. You execute it using virtual trading, but at one point you also have to level up and use real money because that practices your emotions, right? How will you react when you are not trading real money? Because I understand it. I've been there. I trade virtually. I'm just very impulsive with the amount I'm putting in because I know it's not real money anyway. Okay, I enter and I exit impulsively, but that's not the case when you're using your own money. Okay, so those are my 2 cents for today. Now, and going back to MPI, we are very near the support, which is around 270 level. And just be extra careful because if that gets broken, then chances are we are going to go back to the previous support, which is around this line, 2.48. Okay, the reason why we said that is, because of this. We have consolidation. Some people will also use an ascending line. Okay, that will act as your trading range. Okay, something to that effect. So if this gets respected, the movement will most likely be like this. Okay, and then if this breaks, then of course that's another good story. If this area gets broken, then that now becomes your new support. For example, example, it breaks this area, okay, because this used to be a resistance, just an example, okay, it breaks out of that, it does this, breaks out of it, then the next move is it will revisit and create a brand new support there, and then continue to move up, if that happens, okay. But in the meantime, I'd like to say that we use this MA20 line as our support, and be mindful if it continues to move up, just be mindful of this yellow diagonal line, because that can also act as your support as we move up. Next is ICT. As for ICT over here, you're sitting at a possible resistance, guys, okay. You are sitting at a possible resistance. The reason why I said that is because of this. This is a doji, and you're sitting at the MA20 line. Remember, when you are moving below the MA20 line, when it reaches back there, that can act as a resistance. And when a doji, okay, this candlestick that looks like a cross, that's a doji. When that appears at the resistance area, then chances are it will dip. And why did we plot this area as a resistance? Of course, it's sitting right at the MA20 line. You also have some candlesticks forming at that level. This one is a resistance. This one as well. And this used to be a support for 2 days. Okay? Resistance. So those are your hints. What about MWC? MWC is going back to a previous support. Okay? And let us see if it will hold in that area. Okay, do you see this? So price has been doing sideways over here previously, and that became a resistance right here. We broke out of that, and we created a brand new support here. So it's either we break down, or we just managed to settle in this area and continue to move up. Okay, so either way, just take note that this is an area that we're currently watching. Overall, you're still at a promising level if you believe in the fundamentals of the stock, but in the short term, you're very near a, well, your RSI is still looking healthy at the 55 level, but just be mindful of 11.67. The goal is it does not break that line. Okay, otherwise there's a breakdown, and then you have to go back again to the previous support, and that would be your next support downwards. Okay, right. ABS, let us see. Okay, ABS is trying to recover. I think this is just simply going to, well, I think it's going to create a support in this area where you also had your previous support here. Okay, so I think it's just trying to stabilize there in the next few days. Yep, if it dips downwards, your next support would be your previous bottom. And when it revisits your previous bottom, check if your RSI is already ascending, meaning it's moving to the upside. I think right now it is, right? If it continues the same look over here, when it revisits your previous, then chances are this is indeed the area where it will bounce. Okay, but overall, I have nothing against ABS. It's just that I've been verbalizing this in the past few days. The sentiment of the people is no longer in TV networks. People are highly dependent in social media for information and for entertainment. And we don't need big stars to entertain us now. Any ordinary individual can create a YouTube channel and entertain people, right? So I think that's the beauty of innovation, equal distribution of fame and popularity. We don't need the big stars anymore. Anyone can create uh, their, can have a career in social media. So going back to ABS, this for me is a decline. The even GMA7, um, TV networks for me are on a decline. So I try to gear away from them. All right. So I think that is my part two for today's stock market insights. And let's catch us again tomorrow. But I suggest you drop a comment on your favorite stocks that you'd like us to review so that I can prioritize it. I really have no bias. I just rely on your requests, and this is a product of the comments that you guys have posted in my preview in my video this afternoon. Okay, so good job to those who have commented. In the meantime, if you have not subscribed yet to our channel, I am inviting you to subscribe, hit the like, and of course, hit the notification bell so that you're always updated whenever I have a new video. Okay, I will also link the video I created this afternoon. All right, thank you guys for watching. Bye bye for now.